This is such a beautiful flower bed of Vinca and Coleus, and it looks gorgeous, but I think a little edging around there would be so much nicer. So today we're going to take a look at a few examples. Some of them are pretty simple, some of them are a little bit more upscale, and we're going to also put an easy one together so you can see the before and after of using edging in your garden. If you've never been here before, my name is Marlene. Welcome to our Home and Garden channel. Welcome everyone. So let's take a look at some of the more easier ones to do. And this is a very simple one. This is just like an edging strip that we have on one of the flower beds next to the side of our house. And as you can see, it is doing its job by going in and putting a clear division between what is a flower bed and what is the rest of the grass there. It keeps the weeds from going over into the flower bed, and it also keeps the river pebbles from coming over onto the grass. So it's doing that duty, which is to, keep one from the other. And the plants are quite happy. They look really nice. And we like to pack in river pebbles too. It gives it that natural look. And our plants pretty much, look really good. And I think it fits really well. And also the same we do for our iris beds as well too. And just to show you what can be used for that look would be something like this here. And I'll probably link some of these types in the description box. But this is the one that I saw at Walmart fairly recently. And they give you, a certain length of it. You can put it down in there. They also have some of these little metal ones. It's like a little roll of it, and you can just stick it down in the ground. And these are all very DIY projects, guys. Just be sure the ground is wet when you're putting those down. And like these wooden ones here, what's more cuter than a little white picket fence? Even something as small as that. You can just paint it and put it down there. And they also have some very inexpensive, like these metal ones here as well too. And some of them are a little bit larger, but either way, just put a little paint on and they're good to go. If you wanted something a little bit more rustic, like say for your raised bed in your back garden, like we did for these, we built those about 2 years ago, and I did a video on that. My husband and I did a video, so I'll link it in the description box. But they show you on here how they stack them 1 over 2 together to give you the look that you will want. So it's pretty straightforward. So be sure to check it out if you want to see a step-by-step. And here he is showing you, just turning over the soil to show you this. It's fully in action being used right here. This was, we were planting it up a few years ago. So if you wanted something a little bit more stylish, like say for your front garden, but it's just 1 row of bricks, this is an excellent one to use. It has that really nice scalloped look, which I like. Kind of retro, but modern at the same time. And just to show you guys that they have this interlocking pattern at the end, so it's very easy to connect them. So this is something you can easily do for yourself. And I'm showing you here with my finger just to give you an idea of how, big it is. But let's say you're looking at your garden beds, in your backyard. My friend Sharon, she uses 1 layer too, and she actually turns them on the side because she has easier access to reap these lower growing plants that she has right here. And it works out very well for her. And this was such a fun video that we did a few years ago at her home. So I'll link it in the description box. We had such a wonderful time, and it's still getting lots of views. So be sure to check it out, to see the harvest. This is another neighbor of mine over here, and she went 2 rows up, and you can see how she turned these. You can turn them all in the same direction, or you can alternate back and forth depending on what you want. So that's 2 rows up, no mortar needed. So very easy. Now the neighbor of mine again, she went 2 rows up as well too, and she formed a circle around these because these are kind of spreaders. So to keep them off, that's what she did, and it works out perfectly well. Something a little bit more complex like this, this one has mortar in it, so you may need to get some professional help if you're very good at DIY stuff like that, and maybe it's something you can handle for yourself. But if not, those options are available. This is just to show you what's out there, depending on how large or how small you want to. And we're going to show you different types of bricks and blocks that you can get coming up, and the prices and so on. Of course, you're always subject to change. And these larkspur are just so beautiful. We saw this at Pigeon Forge when we visited there some time ago. Absolutely gorgeous blooms in the springtime. And if you're liking this video so far, be sure to give me a thumbs up so it sends a good message out. So here are some of them, guys, that you can see right here. And they're basically showing you the price as well too, and they tell you how big they are. And you can see they show you the holes in them, and like how they interlock. There's different things you can do with them, and this is not sponsored, by the way. I'm just showing you. I typically do the different options that are out there, so you can make some good decisions before you even go into the center, just to see what's available out there. And they do so many wonderful things with these edging material, guys. It doesn't have to be around your beds, because they're even using it to make a fire pit over here. So lots of different creative ways to go about it. And I kind of like this one too, with a kind of like, it's, that kind of a rustic but gray at the same time. And it works really, really well if you like that more, rustic type of a look. This one shows you again how they kind of interlock at the top, so they work out really, really well together. You can see how they're forming it out there for a circle right there. And again, you can turn them, they can all face the same direction if they're angled, or you can turn them like, alternate one this way, one that way to get a completely different look. So it just depends on, what you're trying to do. You can see some more prices there, some a little bit more rustic than the other. But I have a cottage style garden, and I think this is perfect for that. Or like a rustic kind of French country, or maybe even modern. These work, pretty much for any one of those styles. So there's something, I think, for everyone, whatever way you decide to go. And again, these garden centers, they have professional people that they can refer you to, or some of them sometimes even affiliated with the company that they can come out and, get these things fixed for you. Those were some more flat ones, not as thick as the ones you saw before. You can see the price, which is subject to change depending on when, you're doing your shopping. And they also show you some kind of like, in and out patterns or how they stack them. And make sure you have someone to help you, first of all. You're getting a lot of them because they're quite heavy, some of them, and that you also have a vehicle, to take them. I know it's kind of like simple things to say, but sometimes in the heat of the moment we forget, some major stuff. So just put it all out there for you to make sure that you have all the information that you need before you get started. These are some beautiful flagstones that they have as well too. And I just love the look of flagstones. Make a little path to a water feature, maybe to their backyard, or, something like that. But I think they just add that nice, very organic feeling to the gardens. And I don't have any, but I certainly would. That would certainly be something that's on my list. Maybe a little pricey sometimes, but they're definitely worth it, and serves for a long time. But this is my favorite type right here, guys. I have to say, you can see I love my little rabbits looking on there, and it's the ones that are the stones that they're kind of like an irregular shape, very, very, rustic. This is my neighbor's right here, and she pretty much did the same thing over here as well too. And so we're going to get started to show you doing ours. That's a before right there. We're just going to show you step by step. You can see over here that this was very messy. Even though my husband cleared off some of the weeds in front of it, we have like creeping Virginia growing back over it. We have lots of dry leaves. But this is the early spring, guys, so lots going on here. But what I will say is, before you go in and you start, getting anything done, make sure the earth is soft enough. We didn't have rain for quite some time before this video is coming out. We have had now since I filmed this, but it was so dry, guys. When I say dry, we actually had fire threats, not too far from here. So give it a good soak first if the rain didn't fall yet, and then just go ahead and start pulling them out. What I do is I'd, maybe like use a broomstick or something, just to make sure there are no snakes in there, no lizards or anything. Because, when it's early spring and things are waking up, you never know what might be hibernating under there. So, always exercise caution. Of course, I love to always have on my gloves to make sure. This rake should be used gently though, so it doesn't damage the rhizomes on the iris, because, those fleshy roots, the rhizomes that come up on top, we don't want it to get damaged, because the plant can get diseased that way. And over here, my husband, he went in and blew off the dried leaves. So we're going to get started. Those are the rocks that we're going to use right there. And you can see it looks a lot cleaner in there, and this is what this plant wants. Rhizomes should be showing on top, and they should be nice and clean, so we can get going. And I just wanted to take a moment to invite you to subscribe to our channel if you have never done so before. My husband and I, we do lots of gardening topics, DIYs, what's at your garden center, and all of that. So be sure to hit the bell twice so you never miss an upload. And if you haven't heard from us in a while, just stop on by. And you can also support our channel by getting merchandise at the product link. We thank you so much for our channel members. We appreciate you so, so much. So now he's going ahead and getting started with the rocks right here. And these you can get from like stone companies, or sometimes your garden center may carry them. It just depends. So first, he was just going in and putting them close together just to show you what it would look like if you did it that way. And then, once we put them in, we decided that the next thing we're going to do is to put some river rocks in there, and I'll show you what those look like. So you do have two different options. You can do them like this, or space them out more. And for the, to back them off a little bit, you can use the strip, the metal, the plastic strip. You can use it in front or behind, depending on how you want it to form out. So these are the river pebbles right here that we got, or I should say pea pebbles, whatever the kind you want to get. We just spread them over on there. So just to show you the opposite side that we haven't done yet, to show you what that one looks like. So you can see it's a little bit messy, not looking so great, but once it gets fixed, it's going to look like this. And I think it not anything fancy, but I think it looks a lot nicer. It just makes you feel so relaxed just looking at it, very much calling you into nature. And of course, this took us maybe like less than an hour, to be honest. It was very quick. So it's an easy project. Anyone can do it. Of course, you can go upscale more with the other ones I showed you before, but it just depends on, what works for you. So the river pebbles, also add that special touch, and those you should be able to get them at your garden center quite easily. I even saw some at Walmart the other day. I think it was a pea one though. Very, very inexpensive. And like our iris, like I said, they love it. They grow so well in there. So I hope that this gave you some great ideas, as far as getting your edging going. There's one for everyone, I would say. I want to thank you so much for stopping by. Thank you so much for those of you especially who recommend my videos, to those that like gardening. We wish you a happy gardening season. All the very best with your garden, and I do hope to see you in the next one. Take care.